Alrighty, we are back. Hi, Diego. How was your weekend? And what's new?
It was pretty good. Unfortunately, just got a little sick today. Got a bit of a sore throat, but not too bad. This weekend was pretty chill. I joined an axe throwing league with some friends and my girlfriend. That's kind of insane. It's pretty wild as a sport. No, it's just thinking of it like shooting free throws, so it's kind of fun. It's a good
Is it
thing
the
to
same? Are
do.
you good at it or absolutely cheese?
Uh, I'm not too bad. It just took a while to get used to like how much you spin the axe when you throw it. Changes how far away from the target you are. So I had to lock that in. And then after that, it was pretty dialed. So we'll see how I do next
So
weekend.
is it like the more spin you put on the axe, the farther it goes?
No, it's
You
just
got
like
more
the
power
timing, right? Because you gotta hit the wo- the target with the like metal
with the
part of the
blade,
axe, right? Yeah,
right?
that's good word. So if you're off, and it's like cyclical, right? So you could go too far and then hit it right, or get closer and then also hit it. So it just depends. So that was fun. Played some basketball for the first time after getting my sister moved. That was pretty fun. Played with some guys on my team. Yeah, we're
Saw
getting
the big
there.
difference.
No, not really. Bro, we were
Okay.
playing with this kid. He's 20 years old, bro. Man is like 6'3", super skinny. He's just hyper athletic, bro. I was like, that was wild with
He
that. He
wasn't
was like
getting
darker.
boxed out. Okay, all right.
This guy was crazy, but yeah, he was on my team a few times, so it was pretty fun. But anywho,
That's
that's
as
those are
good
my
when he's on your team.
yeah,
Got
yeah.
those cats.
How about you? How's it going?
I mean, I'm fantastic. I'm gonna feel the high from the Bears beating the Packers Saturday night.
Yeah.
Been watching the NFL playoffs, not so much NBA. So it's a little bit of a lighter topic this week. But man, as a Bears fan my entire life, that was I'm gonna record a podcast with Corsian right after this. And I'm that's a game I'll probably remember for the rest of my life, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, that
Unless
one I'm
unless
going
unless they
for.
make the Super Bowl this year and have a comeback win or something like that to win the Super Bowl. But even so, I think given the moment and expectations for this Bears team coming into the season and the way they've been coming back all season long, and then
Yeah.
that way the first half went, you would thought the luck ran out. And the things that had to happen in sequence for
Mhm.
that comeback to happen
Yeah.
just amazed me. So for once, I feel good about the future of the team. Again, we'll go in detail with Corsian on that, but that was highlight of the weekend, getting used to my new place, new surroundings, and yeah, yeah, just I'm feeling fantastic this entire week. I'm like, I've never felt this happy, even though football is only supposed to occupy 5% of my life. um,
Yeah.
feels like it's taking a stranglehold, but definitely a good moment, especially if
Uh,
you're in Chicago right now. People are like going nuts over the Bears and how they're doing.
yeah, that's awesome. Good. Good for the Bears.
Alrighty, let's jump into the film study. Lot of interesting mixed and takes on this. A
Mm.
lot of guys who wouldn't have expected to be on here, but since I'm loving Chicago and Chicago's on a roll right now, I figured it'd be good to start with Matas Buzelis, so he's going to be first in the docket here. Um, this is just a midseason scoring reel, and um, I loved kind of the sequence of events here, like throughout the season. You're
Yeah.
noticing, Diego, real quick, like a lot of where he gets his points are like very athletic dunks.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing that stands out. But I think how he gets to it and kind of his processing to sequence his moves and manipulate the big, it's not something to overlook. Like you're seeing a ton of Euro steps. He has that in his bag. But
Mhm.
then he also is comfortable finishing in the middle of the rim.
Yeah.
So he can play off structure by himself as a ball handler, like work with guys like Giddy to get lobs. You're seeing a lot of that, like transition from like he thought he was gonna dunk from the baseline and to the front of the rim. So you're seeing his bag and dunking in different spots. So that's the thing that stands out to me so far.
Yeah, the fluid handle and the the wacky pickups. I mean, that one, the kind of Donovan Mitchell high pickup, the ability to do all of these things and just play out on the ball is very nice. I thought, man, I was watching this and I was like, isn't he like 6'10"? He's actually 6'8". I don't know why I thought he was 6'10".
He
But
plays like it.
yeah, he's grown a lot as a player, and I mean, really, who I don't know if Kobe White's gonna stay, but him and Josh Giddey, like two-headed monster, I feel like, of creation and just and the shooting ability, I think is the biggest thing. If he can shoot
And now
consistently,
you're seeing it like off the catch and shoot.
yeah,
He's getting very proficient. Like his rookie season's a little bit inconsistent, but
mhm,
now you can tell like he's got the fluid motion down and consistently, and that's gonna help expand this game. Especially now you're seeing like the other parts too, the off ball cutting, 45 cut,
yep,
baseline cut, playing off of Vucevic to create space, 45 cut right there. Like you're kind of seeing like a story of progression where he's like adding to other parts of his game, and
mhm.
that's what excites you about his potential.
Yeah, and just so much. I think I think he didn't go to college. He went through the G League Ignite, and he was one of those players. The G League Ignite was such a weird experiment where it's just playing against G League players, which is some of them are NBA players, but the competition really wasn't that good. The team he was on was also terrible. So a lot of scouts were thinking, well, how good is he really going to be? Was he just getting good stats on a terrible team on a like worse than a college team level? But it's good to see him develop, and especially with the shot. I feel like that's the most worrisome thing. I'm just so scared of like the Ben Simmons syndrome. Like you can get to the rim as much as you want, but then eventually you can't shoot, and then you just doesn't work like a Zion, like even Ja Morant a little bit nowadays. So
I
good
think
for
what
him.
works for him is because he doesn't have that size, he kind of slithers and uses
Mm,
angles really well. When
yeah,
you saw Ben Simmons play in his prime, he wasn't using angles per se. He was kind of just
move
utilizing his playmaking and like um,
athleticism, I guess.
athleticism, right?
Yeah,
So I think that's the one differences I see in their games. But again, your point is valid. You'd love to see that.
yeah,
He's moving beyond like and working on his shooting.
yeah. And a big thing I feel like I've said this multiple episodes. Just IQ is king. So like having the IQ to slither around like that, to be able to make that read of, oh, he's stopping me in one way, I should go this other way, and reading those angles, that's critical.
Yep, couldn't agree more. All
Yeah,
right, I don't think we talked about Utah too much, so
true.
let's discuss that a little bit. Keontae George had a big night. He had 32 points, and just
Yeah, man.
watch how he's getting into his shots. Great pull up three there. Denies the screen. Thing that stands out as with a lot of the film study clips we have, very decisive, but on this clip in particular that we just saw, he's very patient too. Like
Hmm.
he's just because the look is not there doesn't mean he goes right to it, even though he's probably coached to do that. He understands that the circumstances have changed and now he has to pivot to a different option. So you're
Yep.
seeing him like read the field or like read the court, kind of like a quarterback, and
Yeah.
he's making great decisions. Like here's probably an easy jump off pass, and he's forcing the help defender to make a decision.
Hmm.
And again, not afraid to make a move that seems meaningless, like dumping it down to Markkinen.
Yeah.
But then he's also found the balance in scoring and aggression. So that's the thing that I see that has he has matured in his game. So really happy for Keontae George to have a performance like this.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing that all year. To be honest with
Wow.
you, I don't know who else could be MIP because this guy has really popped off the page. Like we knew Keontae George was reasonable. I get it. Like he was gonna be on an NBA team most likely. And this year he's just been like, no, I'm a starter on any team. I am a starting point guard in this league. And yeah, it's really been a crazy pop. I love that pass where he kind of jumps for a jump shot and makes the pass. He played really well against the Pistons as well, which I was kind of surprised about. Still, his defense is kind of lackluster, but he's a bigger guard, so he just really controlling the offense. I love it. And playing off of Nurk and well, especially Markkinen will be good for the young
I think
guys.
the big thing with him is just focus on the effort and intensity parts because if you
Yeah,
don't have the IQ defensively, it's really just about the hustle stats. Like
yeah.
and that just comes with effort, right? So
Mhm.
um just continuing to lean into that I think is key.
Yep, yep.
No pun intended.
Yeah, that's what the jazz commentators call him.
Right? Okay. And then, as usual, we'll have role
Yeah.
players. I don't think he's going to be a role player for that much longer. Colin Murray
Yeah.
Boyles. What a performance. Double double. Um, and
Mhm.
threes of each for assists, blocks, and steals against the Philadelphia 76ers in a game that went to overtime. So I think the thing that stands to him is he could play in this league. He's playing with confidence. And he's putting guys in position with that entry pass as well, like
Yeah.
or um, what's the Kevin Love, the outlet pass, like
Yeah.
just his ability to put guys in spots, and again, like he's not seeing defenders, he's kind of seeing spaces when he's passing the ball, and
Mhm.
that really helps when you're trying to anticipate like what should my next move be when I had defenders closing in, and then he has that to his bag too. So to him and Scotty Barnes, like with time, they're going to be a very, very formidable duo with the Raptors. And it's no accident that they're doing so well in the East right now.
Yeah. I think his biggest skill coming out of college was being that kind of switchy 4 or
Look at that
5
read.
team.
Like he's just
Yeah.
reading concepts really well on both sides.
Yep, and
Sorry, go
so
ahead.
no, you're good. Be able to make kind of create not him create, but at least like be able to make those shots. He made a little hook shot earlier in the post. Those are gonna be huge for his development and especially a jump shot. I don't know if we see one here, but uh yeah, no, he's looking good and he's really what the Raptors' only center is Jakob Poeltl and Sandro Mamukelashvili, and both of them Pirtle's been out. Mamukelashvili is basically the same, just older. And if CMB here can really play big, he can make a big influence for this Raptors team, especially in the future. So yeah, I
Yeah,
like
because what's to say that like they can go small ball with like him and Scotty
yeah,
Barnes?
hmm
They could do that with the way
yeah,
they're built. Like and the IQ you clearly see. Like, and that's the thing that stands out. Like more so than like athletic ability, I think the league is just turning into more like the more high IQ players you have, the better off you'll be.
yep,
As far as like total offense.
yeah. I think I guess quick side note on that, like there was a thinking basketball video talking about like the difference between the '90s or before and nowadays, where instead of people kind of like just jumping super high, being super athletic, or making the post fadeaway. Now it's more about how can you strategically use your two steps, your gather to make a layup and kind of pointing to that IQ over raw athleticism game.
Especially when the gather step rule is kind of evolved
Yeah.
to what the league officials want to do.
hmm
But there's a whole tangent on that. It's like what is legal and what is not legal anymore. I don't know.
Yeah. It's pretty
There used to
confusing.
be a time where the James Harden step back was considered a travel.
Yep.
Now you could just Grace now and everything, I guess. But
Yeah. Kind of tough.
all right, let's talk about Anthony Black.
Yep.
Magic, no surprise, having a lot of injuries. Dropped 26 points, so we had to look at him because when you think about Magic, you think about Wagner and Banchero. You don't really think about Anthony Black as like a key star
Yeah.
on the team. So let's see how he gets it done here. Goes off the read, goes to Bane, cuts off a Bane pass to elbow jumper splash.
Yeah.
Let's take a look. Now he's handling the ball, getting into a pull up three. So
hmm
he's comfortable handling the ball. He's comfortable playing off ball. I think, and he shows a lot of creativity to get to the spots he wants. Like solid, solid playmaking all around, and like
Yeah.
he's doing everything he can, like when he has the ball in his hands and off the catch. And
And playing
yeah,
defense.
very impressive for being role player on the Magic.
Yeah, I mean, he was already a clamp down defender. That wasn't in question. But being able to hit the shot, being able to create on his own, being able to kind of find that balance between I'm gonna create off on ball and I'm gonna cut and use what others create for me. Like that shot. If you told me Anthony Black is making that shot a year ago, I'm like, what Anthony Black are you talking about? Like
But
I
dude,
didn't.
like look at the play, like Jonathan Isaac, like Desmond Bain, like Brancho, they're all ceding to him having the ball to end the possession. Like
Yeah.
you just don't think of that when you're thinking about like the Magic. Like you're just thinking about the ball being in Brancho's hands, and that's something that evolved. Like I don't. Do you think it's a product of having Bain on the team now
Well, I think the
and
big.
how their
Oh,
philosophy has changed? Go ahead.
Yeah, I think the philosophy change is mostly from the fact that I think Banquero's out for a while, and now Franz is out, right? Or is Franz still in? But I know there was a time where Paulo Banquero wasn't playing, and then the team kind of did that, where they're like, okay, we need to be more egalitarian. And then Paulo came back, and he was like, wait a minute, I'm not supposed to just post up and hold the ball this whole time. And I think that was the biggest thing because Paulo's great. He's a good player, but he would love to shoot the mid range, which I love, but it's not necessarily points per shot the best. So I think that's a big thing that Mosley and the Magic organization have kind of locked in on. Where let's get the ball out of just one guy's hands. Everyone needs to have the ball, and like we've talked about many times, if everyone touches the ball, it's a lot easier to hit a shot than when if you haven't touched it in like 20 minutes and you get the ball cold, you've just been running around and just like
You're
kind of
not in
scared you got
rhythm.
to shoot it. Yeah. So I think it's good for the Magic. Maybe Desmond Bain helps with that as well. And the big thing for Anthony Black, just being able to shoot. The Magic team over the past 2 years has been just maligned with shooting woes and difficulties. So this is great to have a guy who you want to play, and even more so with his three ball.
Hopefully keeps up his rhythm because it's a really good performance. And Franz
Hmm.
Wagner update, he's hopeful to return when they're in Berlin today.
Okay.
Um, if so, he's probably playing 2 or 3 games from now,
Yeah.
at minimum. So, yeah, should be getting into full speed on the starting lineup very shortly. So that's what you love to see.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Alrighty, your guy, your man, Cooper Flag with a crazy sequence. Takes
Yeah.
the
This
midi, splits
shot is
defenders.
insane. It's a
That's
professional
that's
shot.
nephew shot, but like without Kyrie there and Anthony Davis, we'll talk about him in a bit.
Yeah.
Like he's the primary star now, and then watch him just read this out. Like, okay, he's beat, comes
Yeah.
back, lets the help defender come in, thinks it's a pure switch, but nope, it's just me rejecting you. Get that out
Hmm.
of here. So I think from where he has been the first NBA game to now, you've seen clear improvements. He's a lot more
Yeah.
confident, and he's shown he could play in this league at
Oh,
bare
for sure.
minimum. The
Yeah.
performances are going to come, but I think this is a really, really great thing to see, especially in your rookie year. Like you're taking the 2 guys. I know it's against the Nets, but this like hey, you don't get to decide who's on your schedule in certain parts. So credit to Cooper Flag. He's clearly growing before our very eyes, and it's only a matter of time when they build the right pieces around him without a Nico Harrison that he'll begin to
Oh,
truly shine.
yeah. And I think the biggest thing is the defense was always there. This kind of block is normal, and the Mavs have actually been one of the league leaders in blocks per game. I mean, having AD, Daniel Gafford, Cooper Flag, PJ Washington, just a super long, rangy group. But so that's not surprising. I love how he lets Dwight Powell hold up the guy shooting the layup just enough so he could block it. He's like, I know what I'm gonna do here, and that's kind of like a LeBron's talked about that on his chase down block in the finals. So very interesting stuff there. But yeah, the shot. I mean, there were a lot of questions with 3 point shot and the fact that yeah, it didn't go well as a point guard at the beginning of the season, but it's just reps, like wins to me at least. The Mavs aren't trying to win. I don't think we should be trying to win fully. Like if we get a win, that's great, but I think we should be working on developing Cooper Flag, Max Christie, Ryan Nemhard if he still has minutes to play, and these younger guys because they're truly going to be the future of this team. And yeah, Cooper Flag got that time, and it's looking great. So I'm excited. And I love these jerseys. I have like a fake jersey I made for Derek Lively of these, but I gotta buy a Cooper Flag jersey.
Hey, I mean, they're only 2.5 games out from Memphis
Yo,
for the
don't
last playing
no,
spot.
no. I don't want no. I need a scheme, bro. I'll explain. I'll once we move on, I'll explain. Or should I just explain now my nefarious agenda?
Let's explain in our later topic here.
Nah, I bet.
All right. Phoenix Suns
Right,
not
right,
in the
right.
playing standings. They're actually above. They have the last
Yeah,
seed in the playoff spots currently. Just same same games back as the Lakers, but one more win. Very interesting. It looks like
crazy.
they played 2 more games. Um,
Yeah, let me see
yeah,
that.
the OKC like from San Antonio has become a lot closer than we'd expect. Um, been 6 games apart. But regardless, Phoenix at 24 wins up to this point, we did
Yeah.
not see coming. And I just want to talk about how they've exceeded expectations. So I'll let you start us off and say like what are kind of your takes on the Phoenix Suns and why they've been so successful. And I'll kind of dive into a couple things I've noticed.
Well, yeah. Big thing is this team does not get pushed around. This team is going to play defense. This team is going to be in your shirt. They're going to be they're going to be between your jersey and you. They're just going to be all up on you, playing good defense, and yeah, just a scrappy bunch, especially with Dylan Brooks. Dylan Brooks has even joked that Colin Gillespie is like a mini Dylan, that they're just mean out here, and it's nice. It's having an identity where before it was just our identity is three all stars, we're good, whatever, we don't care about the other guys. But now it's everyone's working as a whole. Also, Iguodaro making those kind of passes, and I'm happy to see him get minutes. So yeah, I just love what this team is doing. Jordan Ott, defensive specialist, he's the one who kind of thought of this. Put a little guy on Wemby and see how it goes. So yeah, for a very good team, very exciting. You have so much more hope now compared to like literally 6 months ago. Compared to that, you have infinitely more hope, which is wild to me.
Yeah, I mean, you you spoke on it for me. I think
Yeah,
Colin Gillespie, Jordan Goodwin, Grayson Allen having one of the best seasons he's had. Mark Williams having a career resurgence. He's played 34 games so far.
yeah.
And then Iguodaro, I want to talk about him because when he played for 23 minutes and he had 0 points and 0 rebounds. And besides that, like he's been the game defining player for the Suns. He averages under 6 points a game. He's not made a 3 pointer in his career. Shoots 52 and a half from the line.
Gosh.
He blocks 1.4 times per 100 shots. And he's a center. And he has one of the worst rebound rates being a
Yeah,
center
he's not
in
big.
the league.
Yeah.
So when you hear those stats, you're like, why do the Suns have this player? And it's a perfect example of what the eye test shows you beyond the stats. Look at him and how he closes out Brunson. Like you can tell like Brunson's trying to draw for the foul, and it helps that you're kind of in a late game situation, and you
Hmm.
know like if Brunson hits the three, like you're screwed. Like
Yeah.
you're trying to shut that down. And the fact that he doesn't bite it, he stays down, he stays disciplined. You don't
Yeah.
see that out of players. And then this pass, like
Right.
again, it's a theme from the film study. He's seeing concepts offensively and defensively. He understands tendencies. And you need those kind of players if you're trying to build around a Devin Booker. You need guys that kind of see the way he does. And when he gets double, how do you read and react? And that's the biggest thing. Like when he has the biggest on off court differential on the Suns with all those stats
Wow.
I showed out. Like the Suns are outscoring opponents by 7.5 points per 100 possessions when he plays, and they lose by 1.2 when he sits.
Hmm.
So, would for a guy that plays 23 minutes, his efficiency and his impact beyond the box score is the thing that stands out, and that's just the one guy I brought up.
Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome, man. I think it's just like you said, numbers, and especially when you don't have a lot of time, it's hard to really understand anything about beyond the box score. But seeing these type of plays, I don't know why I had a feeling he was this good or he could do this. I may have watched a few of his games at Marquette. I think he played with Tyler Kolek, and yeah, it's just very interesting to see that kind of big. He kind of gives Domantas Sabonis vibes. Definitely better defensively, like you said, and that defense is really what's going to get him minutes, at, as we're
And
seeing
I
here.
want to I want to see this too. Like when he places this dime,
Whew.
he doesn't throw it with two hands.
No, just
So like that's a key
one
point because
arm.
when you see that action, hold on, I'm gonna try and pause it.
Yeah,
So
mid
when you
dribble.
see that right before he passes, what do you think the defender's thinking? He's not anticipating this backdoor happening,
Yeah,
right? He's thinking, okay, he's just gonna dribble it up. He might try to post me up on the elbow or something like that and run an action on the other
yeah,
side of the court. He's probably waiting on that or a dribble handoff, right? You're not
yep,
thinking this backdoor's happening because he's dribbling with one hand,
Mm-hmm.
and his ability to just hit people on the money with dimes like that,
Yeah.
that like it's those kind of things you don't see. Like yes, it's quantified by an assist, but to be able to do that on the court while not like showing or giving a tell to the defense, like that's a big deal. If I'm thinking about this team that's trying to go from Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, and Devin Booker to Booker and all these scrappy veterans and playmakers on the defensive end. Like you need to have all these subtleties and nuances in your game.
Yep. And I think a big thing I've been learning recently about the game, playing myself and clearly here as well, especially with those kind of passes where a player is just dribbling and instantly off the dribble as it's hanging in his hand, he could pass it like right there. Um, the big thing about basketball is you need to maintain your flexibility at all times. Obviously, maybe physical is good, but like your options, you need to have as many options as possible. So then you're more dangerous with whatever you do. So like one thing I've struggled with is sometimes when I'm playing, I'll just pick up my dribble and be like, oh man, like what do I do? I'm kind of stuck. And you literally are stuck. You can't move, right? Someone needs to help you out then. But if you keep your dribble and you keep moving, you're so much more of a threat because the defense doesn't exactly know what you're gonna do, right? And that's
Right.
that's that's with this dribble. So very interesting.
And I think the big thing is they don't defensive rebound really well. They don't draw
Yeah.
fouls really well. They're just short as players because they're scrappy,
Hmm.
and they rely on jumpers for their offense. But the thing that stands out to me is they lead the league in steals
Yeah.
and their opponent shooting numbers. Like their opponent shooting percentage is really good.
Oh.
So um, all of this, and they do not have what's his first name? He got traded over there from
Oh, Jalen Green.
Jalen Green. He hasn't played. He
Yeah.
literally hasn't played that much this season. Like, and to have him back, like their offense is gonna get so much better.
Yeah.
They're I don't think they're gonna make it past the second round,
Oh no.
but like they could possibly like upset a team like the Lakers or like another one of these contenders we really like. It's
Yeah.
not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's not. It would just be funny.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
Um, you're probably not laughing at this, but Anthony Davis. What is going on, Diego? I'm hearing different like ESPN says like he pulled his hand like against the
Yeah.
Jazz or something, and then like they're trying to trade him. Now they still want to trade him, but then Anthony Davis is like, these are lies. I don't believe this. As a Mavs fan,
Oh,
what do you
right.
make of this?
I did I did see that he said that all the like lies. I think the tweet like got removed or something before I could see it, but the original tweet. But yeah, it looks like he like got some tendon injury in his left hand, and literally earlier today or yesterday, there's a report from Shams specifically saying he's gonna get surgery. His season's over with this surgery, and not even like 10 minutes before we start recording, there's another Shams report where it's like, nope, they got a second, third opinion, and he's not gonna get that surgery. He's gonna keep playing, or he's gonna get reevaluated in 6 weeks and then play. And to me, honestly, it's kind of sad he's not playing because I think there have been a good amount of games this season where he's really recouped his value to show AD when he plays is a great player. And I have to say when he plays, everyone says it. I have to say it. Anthony Davis is the most confusing basketball player, one of the most confusing basketball players in the world because I do not know how many games he's going to play. He's never going to play more than 60 games a year. And so it's hard to even sell someone to that. And the main reason I want the Mavs to trade him just because he's worth a ton of money. And now with Cooper Flag, I think we should go in a different direction. And especially still having Derek Lively, still having Daniel Gafford, you kind of have things that make up an Anthony Davis, not offensively, but I just think you can't you can't be attached to getting a good deal from Anthony Davis. The pros of trading Anthony Davis is you don't have his contract anymore, and you have a lot more cap space in the future. When say you want to get a younger player, a player that is more available, and yeah, it just makes me sad. Anthony Davis in New Orleans was a beast, an MVP contender at times, and to see how he's fallen and become this guy who just can't play, has a weird game offensively where it's like, are you a shooting guard, but you're 6'11" and should be in the paint? So yeah, very confusing stuff. But I think we should trade him.
Yeah, I mean, the question is who wants him?
Exactly.
You could
It's
want to trade him, but who would want to take on that kind of situation, right? And
yeah,
I'm thinking about the New Orleans Pelicans, and it's just shocking to me because this is a guy who Steph Curry feared shooting a three on. Like, think
yeah,
about Wemby and Steph, like how nobody wants to shoot threes, and like Steph's the only one who could shoot it over. That was Anthony Davis
yeah,
in the league, like on the Pelicans. Like he was kind of the unicorn where everybody's like, this is unfair when he got traded to the Lakers, and
yeah.
like, man, just sad to see how his career's ended up so far. I
Hmm.
think if I were the Nets or if I were the Wizards,
Nets. Oh yeah, yeah.
those are the only two teams I would consider making a deal. But if they don't win anything by doing it,
No.
like it's kind of one of those things where it's like if you're a rebuilding team, do you need Anthony Davis right now? You'd only do it because of the expiring contract and then maybe like just some sort of push to see what do you get out of your young guys. But you wouldn't. Nobody's gonna go out of their way to acquire Anthony Davis at this point in his career, with the injury history he's had. So that's what
Yeah.
makes this tough. But I think in either case, I think a lot of it is Davis and his agent trying to make sure he gets traded and that this injury doesn't bode like badly for them
Yeah.
for making that happen. But I think the damage is already done by having like him seeing so many specialists and like trying to figure this out. Like it's I can't get a good read on the situation. And it's when the Luka Doncic trade happened,
Yeah.
I didn't think it was as big of a deal as most people did. Because I'm like, oh, if you're getting Anthony Davis, that changes the full dynamic of what you are defensively. That's gonna
Yeah.
travel. But the problem is you're not getting him for a majority of the season, most
Yeah.
seasons. So that's kind of the two-edged sword you play.
Yeah.
And I think at this point for teams that are like if they're in a similar situation as the Mavs were with the Luca having been in the finals the year before, why would they make this deal?
No
Like
idea.
if if I'm other teams, I'm trying to get Porzingis before I get Davis because
Yeah.
Atlanta's trying to move on from. I'd much rather have Porzingis than Davis. Like
Yeah.
even if the salaries are slightly different or the compensation might be more in one direction. Like I'd rather more take that chance because I'd have more games to see like how do I make my team work with and with him off the floor?
Yep. I think there have been rumors that the Hawks want to trade Porzingis and I think Kennard for AD, which I think is ludicrous. And I just pulled up his contract right here. Anthony Davis this year makes $54 million, and it doesn't go down from there. Next year it goes up to $58 million, and he has a player option the next year for $62 million. Which, geez, man, I that's baffling to me. That is insane. Percentage of the cap goes from 35 to 36. It's just crazy for a guy that can't play. And just moving on to my bigger Mavs point is the Mavs have one draft pick from 2026 until 2031, I believe. We don't have our pick until 2032. So I want 80 gone. And I mean, he's technically gone if he's out for 6 weeks. But I want the Mavs to try to win games. But if we lose a lot of games, I'm not mad because if we somehow, I don't think we're going to jump to first again, but if we can do something where we get a good pick in a loaded draft, part two, actually, more loaded than last year's, I think it would be critical for our future. So, everyone, please cheer with me for the Mavs to lose games. My girlfriend is confused because I'll be like, "Oh, babe, the Mavs won today," and she's like, "Don't you want them to lose?" I'm like, "Yes, but winning is
To win.
nice."
Yeah.
Or yeah, to win. Yeah, I've got her mad
See,
confused.
everybody's confused about this.
It's
One
okay.
thing I
Just
looked into their draft, so they have a first round pick in 2026. They have a
yeah,
first round pick in 2028, 2029. They have two in
do
2029
it. I don't know. It could
because
be
they
a
have one
swap.
via the Lakers. No predictions. Um, they have a 2028 one that's OKC has the right to swap.
Oh, I think. because if we get the Lakers pick and they still have Luca, they're still going to be good. So it's not going to be a good pick. Like, I guess what I meant to say is we don't have picks that have to do necessarily with how good we do, right? So if we're really bad, we get a really good pick. You know what I mean? But it's still the
Yeah.
lottery. So, but no, that makes sense. I forgot about that. I was as I was saying, I was like, didn't we get a pick for getting Anthony Davis? But whatever. Yeah.
But the point is, for building around Cooper Flag, you
Yeah.
don't have much assets to go off of,
Hmm.
right? So you got Cooper Flag, that was the big thing. Kyrie
Yeah.
Irving's coming back, okay, and you got your team now. How'd you build a sustainable winning program without Anthony Davis in it? If he becomes healthy and somehow fixes it, best case scenario. But if I'm the Dallas Mavericks making sense of this, I'm not relying on the fact that we can get compensation for Anthony Davis.
No.
Because if I'm the rest of the league, I'm not touching him. And
Yeah.
if I'm the Mavs, I think you just hold serve and you continue building around Flag,
Yeah.
even though it sucks you're in the situation you're in. Because if you try to like incorporate Davis and like go out of your way to get him to play and then like have that seep into the locker room,
Yeah.
that's gonna introduce more problems than not. But if you take an approach of like, okay, Anthony Davis is a part of what we're doing, but he's not the 60% we need
Yeah.
to win the championship. It's going to be these aspects of our offense and defense, and we need to look out for those players. Because look at the Suns. Look at where their Suns are. They've proven you
Yeah.
don't need multiple superstars on the team to make it work.
Yeah.
The Mavericks have to focus on finding those qualities. And I know
Hmm.
it's easier just saying this from the couch, but
Yeah.
it's one of those situations where like if you cut him, there's a severe penalty. Like
There's no way.
you're not having that money on your team
Yeah.
as far as the form of the player, and you have a financial situation to try and navigate.
Hmm.
Why not just have him at the team at that point and ride it out? The only negative to that is if it seeps into the locker room and becomes a worse issue by him being there. That's the only that's the only situation I see where you have no choice but to let him go. But until
No.
then, just remain patient, do what you can, and keep him healthy. Now, if you get a team that just blows you away with an offer, which I'll be really surprised by,
Yeah.
I would take it. But like
No, same.
like I wouldn't deal him for like 2 second round picks or something like that. Like
No.
don't get rid of him just for the sake of getting rid of him because there's still some potential there. The only issue with him is injury.
Yep.
So
Yeah. I think it's the worst case scenario, what you were saying, that we keep him and go from there. That wouldn't be the end of the world, but it's just like it's just that one trade on the faithful night of February 1st, 2025. That did everything. That that changed the value of Anthony Davis so drastically, the expectations of what he had to do. And so whatever we get now is already kind of pennies on the dollar. So it's whatever. Yeah.
in short,
Anyway,
Diego's going through it. Look out for him, everybody. It's
yeah.
been rough.
Yo, look out for Nico Harrison if anyone sees him.
He's not on the Mavs anymore. There's
I don't
damages.
care.
Guess the damage is done. But okay.
I'm feeling it now. I celebrated so much when he got fired. But anywho, yeah.
All right, that will do it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Follow us on our Instagram page at amon.a.mission. YouTube channel is Amon a Mission. Diego, anything you want to tell the people before you let them go, besides your Nico Harrison comments?
Um, college basketball is also out here. Other good stuff to watch. Yeah, Darren Peterson. Learn that name. He's pretty insane, even though he's got some hamstring cramping. But anywho, that's basically it. This is almost the perfect time where it's just basketball. We're getting there soon.
Yep. For me, I'm one more month in
Yep.
to grinding up at the end of the football season. FanDuel will be a lot bigger to pay attention to these teams now than the 20% I am. But yeah, basketball's coming up. March Madness, only 2 months away from the start.
Oh,
That's gonna be fun.
let's
So
go.
yeah. Um, If you guys want to follow Diego, he has his own channel where he's breaking down the
Yeah.
line of the basketball of it all. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Lock into that.
that should be a fun watch. He does a great job on his breakdowns. But
Yeah. Thank
until
you.
then, take it easy, guys, and we'll see you next week.
Yep. See ya.